Friends. How many of us have them? Friends. Ones who we can depend on. Friends. How many of us have them? Friends. Before we go any further, let's be friends.
Welcome to the podcast.
And I did that.
Hey, welcome to our podcast.
Two darky ladies talking about issues in our lives,
Relationship gossip,
and occasional politics, all while geeking and having fun. Let's geek!
What are we going to be talking about in today's... Whoa, I almost said in today's relationship. That's the actual theme, though.
Relationships.
Yeah.
In today's episode, we are going to be talking about relationships.
Oh, my lord.
I know. Feels like
share.
I know. I feel like this episode's going to be intense for some reason.
I know.
Because we're both kind of like,
Yeah. So... You know, it's funny because there's always a thing I've said. I've actually just started saying this due to my past experiences and really in relationships in general. You know, whether it comes to family, friends, or actual relationship, where it's like you set the tone of the relationship that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so adamant about that. Because the thing is, if you don't set how you want the relationship, trust me, you're going to have that cat fight. Trust me when I say you're going to have this complication with your partner. Because, you know, besides communication being there, I think it's really nice to implement, like, what type of relationship you want with your partner. And then, you know, you have your family. Families are a little bit tricky because, you know, it can go anywhere because you have that idea you must respect your family in any sense. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, families tend to they cross the line with you. And so if you don't set that tone, you're gonna go way deep into like family dramas and things that shouldn't be there. But
do you think how you view relationships is a reflection of oneself?
I think so. Yeah. Because if you think about it, you tend to start... It's funny, because I think you mentioned this before, too. It's funny how friendship work.
Yeah, you right? Just wake up one day, you meet a random stranger, you're around them enough times that you just become friends.
Some friendships do serve as a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's...
I agree.
Yeah, right? It's more of growth. Now... I am very thankful for the friends that I have that been with me through thick and thin.
Can you imagine like how some people wake up and then they're just like, oh, I'm with my partner. I can't imagine myself without them. It's just so like...
I mean, a lot of people say that though.
Yeah, but at one time you were away from them. Yeah. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you have to sit there and be like, what changed? A relationship. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's building that bond and building that trust with a random stranger to the point where you are so close to this being that you have this emotional attachment to them. And this is what I believe we call relationship. It's an attachment to somebody in a unique way. That's why you have like a different relationship with your mom, different relationship with your dad than you would have with your mom. Certain things, you know, that you could get away with one friend than you could get away with another.
That's true.
And then we start with friendships.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, do we want to talk about how we met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
Friend of a friend, basically.
Yeah. But the funny thing is my memory is so fuzzy that I don't remember how, like, I remember we met at that friend's, like, house party.
Yeah, I remember that. And it was so long ago, I barely remember. Wasn't it, like, 2011? Or was that 2012? No, it wasn't that early? Are you sure?
No, you're right. 2011, I think.
That's wild.
Right? How many years? Oh my God. Are we at 9 years?
Shit, but we
had a little bit of like
a 4-year gap.
Yeah,
a 4.5-year gap. I mean, I'm not counting. I'm really not counting.
Well,
I'm not that.
At least I know.
I mean, I can be petty and shady, but I'm not that petty to. Actually, I'm not petty to do that.
You're an Aries. Of course, you're petty.
Okay, you know what? Let's bring up horoscope just a little bit since we're talking about relationships.
Bring those horns Aries out.
I do. I'm an Aries.
I got the singer.
She's a Scorpio.
And she's an Aries.
Yeah, and I always joke that I believe the holy trinity of women you don't want to with is the Gemini, Scorpio, and Aries. Like, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree
I
with
feel
that.
like those are the three most extreme women that when you get on their bad side, like, run for the hills. And when you bring them together, that's like, you thought Charmed was crazy. Like, because I have a friend, I don't want to put her name out there because I don't know if she's comfortable with me putting her name out there right now. But she knows who she is because I know she's listening right now. So yeah, I'm talking about you, girl. She is the zodiac encyclopedia to me.
Really?
Yes, you know which female I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about her. Listeners are like, who's she's hot? They're
the
talking
comments
about.
below on YouTube, like clacking.
But yeah, you tell her anything, I'll be like, yo, there's this guy that's a Leo. She'll be able to be like, yep, you're an Aries, that's a Leo, that's a perfect match on a scale of 1 to 10 on a borderline sign.
What's their sun? What is it? Rising sun?
Yeah, like his rising sun is to the east to the west, and yours is to the north to the south. He's just like, if you go through the calculations above to the mountains of Lake Caucasus, you know, where you get on Mount Everest, just a line right there. And that's in that moment where you guys would fall in love officially. But you need to do it within 24 hours, because if you don't, it's not going to work. And I don't know what to tell you. But that's what the stars are saying today.
Oh, don't get us started on that palm reading. That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But getting back to it, because we are such strong women, honestly, I think the fact that we it's not that we stopped talking, it's just that we went our different ways because we wanted to do stuff in our lives that didn't match up to our lining, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when we finally got back together, I think we came back stronger.
Yeah.
Our views are like pretty much similar. Our careers are almost aligned together too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Also, and it made me think, sometimes I feel like in friendship, you need these struggles because you want to understand and set boundaries to how you want to be treated. We're becoming different people and we're identifying each other in different forms. So meaning like, oh, okay, this is the type of person I want to be. For example, I have a lot of friends that are like this, where I started gaming more. I started loving more anime. I started being like a true geek, right?
Hopefully we can add a sound effect. If not, it's fine, but that'd be cool. Boom boom.
Right.
Because you mentioned our podcast and I'm sorry.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, but like it's one of those things where I started getting into more of that, and I wasn't maturing in that sense, you know, like people were onto relationships and all this other stuff, and I was just like not aligned to their way of thinking, and so we sometimes fall off. Doesn't mean we're not friends anymore, because we like check up on each other on Facebook or sometimes Snapchat, and we'll see each other's stories, but like it's not any shade. It's just we're into different things, and I truly believe that's what happened with us, or I hope so.
And to be honest, reconnecting relationships, it takes a lot of forgiveness, a lot of strength. It shows a lot of maturity. Yeah.
I actually had a friend, I won't mention his name because I don't know if he wants me to talk about him, but like, hey, just like you. But like we became friends because of his girlfriend. And then we end up hanging out more, you know, because we bonded in terms of like things that we like. Again, it has to do with gaming and anime and all this other stuff. And then it came to a point where our relationship strained because something happened within the friend group where I was being blamed for something. And I was just like, no, that's not facts. I didn't agree with their views. And I was just like, all right, I'm out. And then it took years before we reconnected. And it was like, we talked about that moment and we were like, yeah, we were totally high school. Like that was just a high school petty fight. And that's another thing. It's like, you got to differentiate between high school pettiness and something we can actually sit down and maturely talk about it. You know what I mean? And sometimes people forget that we are now adults, but in that case, you know, we end up like forgiving each other, and we have like the strongest bond. Like,
and that's the beauty.
Yeah.
I can tell you, well, I'm willing to admit that I can be very petty.
You think? sorry. I just threw a little shade. I'm sorry.
I mean, no, it's okay. It's okay. But I mean, shade is a little bit of truth in it. There's a little bit of truth in some shade.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's all about learning and being better. I mean, not everything warrants a reaction. That's, I guess, a learning experience behind it.
Or Facebook jail.
Yeah, Facebook jail too, you know.
Did you learn your lesson from this?
Yeah, being in Facebook jail like almost 8 times, you know, in the span of like, what, 3 or 4 months. I learned a lot from that experience. 60 days in Facebook jail taught me a lot. I pondered. Not everybody is worth a dragging. There's a quote by a very nice queen called Latrice Royale. She said,
Latrice!
Yes, and she's from RuPaul's Drag Race. She said that I was going to tear into her, Your Honor.
I remember this.
But then I realized that she's ugly. I was comfortable with myself. It went something like that. Because I don't want a Drag Race fan to be like, that's not how it went. But it was the gist of something like that. Yeah. And she's right.
I remember that.
Yeah. That's so I'm just so like, I ain't got to tell your ugly ass off. You want to know why? Because you're already ugly and you're ugly inside. And it's a fact. The inside matches the outside. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So, yeah. Catherine's wisdom. And then right after this, we put a little... Yeah, relationships. Like, you know, we could kiki like this. You know, there are certain people you can come around and you can't tell them a joke. They take themselves too literal.
Talking about that, I actually had something, you know... My 2 kids came up to me earlier today and they were fighting. And I was like, what you fighting about? And they were like, my little one says, I didn't like her joke and I told her to stop. And Adrina's like, it was just a joke. And then it hit me because...
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm serious. I mean, it's a sister fight.
I know. It's just cute and funny.
Oh, I know. But it got me thinking. And I actually told her what you just said. The best advice is, look, clearly your sister is going to be one of those that, you know, just doesn't like joking. She just can't take a joke. So you have to learn how to say, all right, this person can't take my jokes. I'm sorry, you know, and I won't joke like that with you ever again. Everyone reacts differently, and you have to respect that. That's what I told my daughter. You have to respect the boundaries that these people put on you. And that's where the whole idea of me saying, you set the relationships you want with the person. Because if you know you can't joke like that with a person, respect it and don't do it again. Mm-hmm. And then same thing, you know, with relationships. You know, there's sometimes relationships where it's like, and I'm talking about partnerships, it's like you can joke a certain way with your friends and you can make these hard-ass jokes, but then don't do it to your partner if you know your partner is a little uptight. Not on the, you know, because you should know who you're dating. Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, I mean, relationships do definitely evolve over time. I mean, your relationship can start off rocky, and then it can start off great, and then it can start off terrible, and then it could go back to being amazing, and then you just don't want nothing to do with each other. And then a blank happens, space happens, and next thing you know, you're rock solid, like you're rock together.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious, in your opinion, how do you try and see who the toxic person is in your life? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
How do you start figuring out who's the toxic person that's holding you back? Because sometimes after you fantasize the friendship with the person, you know, you kiki and you having fun, and then after you get that struggle, that's when you kind of like open your eyes and it's just like, what the did I get myself into?
For me personally, I wouldn't say it's holding back, it's just observation, because I'm a kind of person that I go by trends. If you act a certain way every time I'm around you, then that tells me everything I need to know, because, you know, actions speak louder than words.
But if you think about, sometimes they do hold you back. Because... No, because it depends on how you are with the relationship with the person. Because if you think about it, we're talking about people, you know, once you have that, you know how you were saying, once you become friends with a stranger, and you get that strong bond and stuff like that, attachment. Right? And you get attached to them, but then they start doing things that are like, okay, but then it's like, it's fine. And then you have this thing where you psychologically normalize their behavior.
Oh, kind of like that chick that stays with her rapper boyfriend because she's so confident that he gonna make it one of these years. So she just gonna, be patient. She been in it for 3 years.
I wasn't thinking on that lines, but like...
I'm just saying, I'm not dissing anybody that's doing that, or anything like that. Support everybody that you love and everything. But I'm just saying that, like, funny stereotype,
Yeah.
But it's not like that.
Okay, but yeah, it's like that because there are some people out here that normalize certain people's behavior, right? And then it gets to the point where it's like when you try to say, hey, I don't like you doing this, and they continue to doing it, and it's just like, well, how do I get out of this? There's this really, oh man, I really wish I remember what her YouTube channel is, but like she talks about that, and she's also from London, or she's from the UK. I don't know where from the UK. Once I find her channel, I'll like link it down in the description box on YouTube. But I remember she talked about us, being in a friendship, and she talked about how, like, for example, she was kicking with this girl, and when it came time for her wedding, she wasn't part of the bridesmaid, and it's like, hold up.
Yeah, it's stuff like that that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, like, but then the thing is, I feel like part of that, I feel like you've matured. It's like there are some people who are passive in terms of like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna normalize this and this is fine, but like I'm not gonna talk about this. But then there are other people who are like, that, I'm not being your friend anymore because you're doing some shady ass shit.
No, I just take it as it is. I'm just like, okay, bet. Because I kind of joke. I'm just like, when I see shady behavior, I joke. Just because I don't say anything doesn't mean that I don't know about it. I just peep it quietly and then I keep it moving. I'm like, okay. For example, oh, I'm not a bridesmaid in your wedding. Okay, bet. That's fine. You don't see me as bridesmaid material. Now it's time for my wedding. I'm obviously not going to pick you as a bridesmaid. You could have been an idea for it, but no. I dare you to sit down and ask me why. Let's not pretend you didn't make me your bridesmaids and we're not going to play victim here and make me the a-hole. So I'm just saying, I'm that kind of person.
I know.
Like,
but me think, and it's funny because in my perspective in that situation, I would feel hurt, but then wouldn't you eventually want to like talk like
of
this
course.
Is what, so instead of like doing this petty one-up thing, like I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but like at what point would you actually bring it up though without being
but don't you think it's kind of petty to bring it up? Because it seems like that's why I'm just so like, I dare you know how I ended with I dare you to bring it up. Like I dare you to so because I didn't find it petty enough for me to sit down and do it with you, so I'm shocked if you would turn around and say something like that to me. It's like, girl, are we gonna pretend you didn't do that for me a few years prior? Where were you at? Because you clearly weren't here. So why? What's the benefit of it this time around? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I would hope not to be judgmental or anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the way I see relationships. Like, I'm a person, when it comes to relationships, I take it seriously. I'm bonded. Like, if I call you my brother, I call you my sister, like, it's a real thing. And I try to do my best. You can't keep in touch with everybody. So, I try to be around.
Especially when people grow and move
once
on.
in a while. Yeah. I could go on the internet and be like, oh my goodness, this friend had a baby. Let me get her something to show that, I'm still around. Like, we don't talk every day, but hello, birthday. Hey, homegirl, happy birthday. Maybe we could get some coffee. Yeah, we haven't talked in like 3 months, but I still consider your friend. I'm here.
And talking about gifts, wouldn't it be lovely to get a bathing suit from
Salty Mermaid Swimwear?
Yeah.
I am so glad you asked. So, I am so happy to say every episode that I have a partnership with Salty Mermaid Swimwear, where they sell amazing swimsuits for all shapes and sizes for women. And don't even worry, because they got you boo for the men up in there. So it's cute, because if you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whoever you love, you can match with your little boo. And the best part about it is every purchase you do, the money goes to a charity. So, Salty Mermaid Swimwear. Tell them Cat sent you. All you have to tell them is the code SALTY15CAT at saltymermaid.com. Again, it's SALTY15CAT at saltymermaid.com. Put the code in and you'll get 15% off your purchase.
You know what I was reflecting on the other day?
What?
besides having, and by the way, we don't mean to be all negative, because there are lovely things about having friends and being in a partner, because it's that supportiveness and stuff like that. But then it's like, you would also want that love and support from your own family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there are times, and, you know, bless all these people who have good relationships with their mother, their father, their brother, their sister, and everybody in the family member. You know, you're really lucky, because sometimes it's the same thing. If you don't set these boundaries with your family, they will cross, you know, that line with you. And it's like, how, again, it goes with how you want to be treated, how you want to be talked. Because, like, at least in a Salvadorian household, you know, and I'm pretty sure it's like this with many cultures, is that the elders, you have to respect them. But at some point, where does you draw the line of respect versus abuse?
I can say in African culture, it's a very big thing that once your parent tells you what it is, you can't argue with your parent. Like, even if your parent's in the wrong, like, it's like what I say goes. And, you know, it's a bit sad. I think it's the same
in a Hispanic culture. Oh, at least, like, from what I've seen in a Salvadorian household.
It's a bit sad as you get older, though, because, you know, as adults, that's when our parents see us as children. I mean, see their children as grown adults, and they want to start that relationship with us now. We're just all like,
it's too late. Yeah, you should have done that years ago.
Yeah, sorry, Mom, I can't sit down and tell you if I'm dating somebody or so and so. You wonder why? Because when I was younger and I told you, like, you made it into such a big thing that I could never talk about it with you. Yeah. So to get that as an adult, you see? So, I mean, not everybody is like that, but these are some of the issues, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I understand. I mean, I get that, though, because I'm almost in the same position as you, you know? And I literally, I have no problem putting this out there, because it's my truth. Like, it's in my truth, it's like I've had to excommunicate a lot of my family members because they're on some stupid shit.
I just did a few months ago, if you remember.
Yeah. I think we were bonding over that moment too. It's like, at some point, we want to be respected. And if we're giving you respect, and that's another thing too, when you start having your own truth, when you start being comfortable with the way you want to present yourself to the world and the way they think because they're an old ideology, it's like, no, you're too liberal. What you mean I'm too liberal?
I haven't said that just because I went to my college.
But it's crazy. It's like, when does doing what you think is right too liberal? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if I feel like I want to have this, you know, open, okay, for example, if I want to do things the way I want to do, like in terms of raising my kids, and you think that the way I'm raising my kids is wrong, it's just like, what do you mean? And they're like, oh, you're too free, and this is not how I grew up with, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, there is no book on how to parent. You just try to do the best you can. And sometimes you get the roll of dice on how your children are going to be. Because they're always like, oh, your child's going to be the opposite of who you are. And boy, is that true. Like, I was mellow. I was chill when I was young. And then my two kids are hyper. And I'm just like, and like, I can't. It always pisses me off because my kid's dad is always like, I don't understand how, like, you can't control them. I was just like, no, what you don't understand is that I have a true belief that every children acts a different way with each parent.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God, it always frustrates me because he was like, all they're doing is playing slime. No, you don't understand. They get it everywhere.
Like, when I was a little kid before my father passed, like, it was me and my dad. Like, that's what it was. Like, that my dad was my pal. No diss to my mom, but yeah, my dad let me get away with more stuff when I was a kid before he passed. So, you know, that was my pal. Yeah. So, you know, no offense to mommy, but it was just like, step your game up.
But you know
Daddy's giving me candy that you're not trying to give me.
You know what's funny? My mom told me the other day, she was like, you gave more shit to your dad. She doesn't speak that way, but like, she's like, you always give more trouble to your dad. And then I was thinking, I was like, nah, me and my brother didn't give, because we always thought we gave my mom a hard time, and apparently it was my dad. And I was like, you know what? You're probably right. This is one of me and my brother's favorite story of telling each other, but like, it's something my dad, quote unquote, doesn't remember. I doubt it. It's just he doesn't want to remember it. Because the thing is, there used to be a show called Dragon Tales. Ooh,
I remember Dragon
boy,
Tales.
that was my show.
Dragon Tales, Dragon Tales. I only watch PBS part time, but that's what I remember. Some take my hand, Dragon. I'm
No.
gonna stop. Yeah. I know
But
enough.
the point was that was me and my brother's show, and I'll never forget that. Like, my dad was tired that day, and then like me and my brother, we had this stupid idea, by the way, stupid. We got the jump rope, we tied each other in the rope, like he was next to me, and we decided to tie each other, and then we were pretending, oh, we're going to Dragon Town World or whatever, right? and then one of the things my dad literally said to me, and me and my brother, it's like, I'm tired, I'm going to lie down, be quiet. And it's funny because when I hear those words now, and now that I have 2 kids, I know exactly what that feeling is. It's like, I'm going to lie down, please be quiet. You know what I mean? But anyways, so we went ahead and we started playing. My dad came in like about 1 or 2 times to tell us to be quiet. That's either second to third time he came in with a belt and he was like ready to whoop our butts. He was like, didn't I tell you to be quiet? And we were like, ah! And literally me and my brother were struggling to undo that jump rope. Like, we were like, oh my God, he's coming. Hurry up, undo this. Hurry up.
Wow.
And then we I don't know how it happened. We were also skinny legends back in the day. It slipped off. Literally, we see our dad come into my room, and my room had one of those doors that connects to another room. So like me and my parents' room were always connected with a door, and then I had the other door which exits to the hallway, but then you can get into my brother's room. Well, you have to be a little bit smart. You see angry dad coming to make you guys be quiet. So like he's charging at us, we're struggling, we finally escape, and then we literally like we separated. So my dad looked left, he looked right, we were gone. And my brother went straight to his room, locked the door, and then I was like, holy crap, the only exit I had was my mom's room.
And he didn't let you in your room. That's so messed up.
No. I went into that room, exit the other door, ran into the bathroom, locked it, and we were like, okay. And then we heard nothing, and after that, we did not play with each other. That was one of my favorite memories, because now as a mom, looking back at that, what happened, what transpired, reminded me of, okay, I understand where my dad was coming from, because it's like, you had a long, hard day of work. All you wanted to do was take a nap, and here we are is, rawr, rawr.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Running up the stairs like Homer Simpson. That's funny.
Yeah, it's like, it's one of my fondest. I mean, I have a lot of fond memories with my family. So when people do come into our lives, it's usually to teach us a lesson. And that includes family too. You know, it's like, how do we want to raise our children? You know, how do we really want to be with our friends, and what is acceptable? How do we want our relationship to be? And then not find excuses when each of these person do something wrong. We shouldn't be normalizing these ideas, you know. But it's just nice to understand how you can grow as a person.
And now for our first segment, the Cheeseburger Corner.
where we talk about Cheeseburger and all the latest gossip.
So what's the gossip? What's the 411? What's going on?
So I'm a little bit upset. Well, not really, because I was like up editing all day yesterday. Because two things: I missed the Emmys, and then I missed Bad Bunny's live concert on YouTube.
I actually watched a little bit of go on a snap. I actually liked it. I don't know what he was doing with that wig though. Had a little Joe Jackson wig. I'm just joking.
I'm not hating. He looked good. I don't know. I liked it.
You know, I can't sing in Spanish, but he looked great.
For everyone. His look is not for everyone.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so let's talk about the biggest win last night. Of course, like, congratulations to all the winners and all the nominees. Mm-hmm. But we especially want to congratulate Zendaya.
Yes! My girl magic!
Dude! And can you believe it? She started from Disney, and look at her now.
Yeah, like, started from the bottom of the year.
Yes, I'm so proud of her, for real. Like, she actually made history last night, as she was one of the youngest actress to receive lead actress in a drama series, beating out Laura. I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name, but she beat out Laura Lenning from Ozark, Jodie Comer, Killing Eve, Olivia Colman.
Nice.
Like, dude, that was wild.
It was an Oscar winner last year.
Sandra Oh from Killing Eve, and Jennifer Aniston from The Morning Show. Like,
Jennifer Aniston!
I know, and then that's another thing. She reunited with the cast of Friends, so that was a treat for everybody who loved Friends. So, I will say this, however, even though we're all congratulating, at the same time, we can't have anything up in the rise without something being thrown at us. So the New York Post writes a small article titling it, Biggest Upset, Zendaya Wins Emmys 2020 over Jennifer Aniston and Laura Linney. When you read the word upset, if you just take away biggest, it's like upset usually means like, it's bad. Like, it's an upset. Like, you know what I mean? And so, of course, Twitter went off, and, one Twitter user said, upset, the woman was incredible in Euphoria. No one is surprised. Another Twitter user said, if you watch the show, then you know why it's an upset. It wasn't an upset, excuse me. The New York Post decided to say Zendaya's fans mistake the meaning of upset after historic Emmys 2021. I was like, are you serious right now? So guess what? Twitter decided to rebuttal. And then people were like, y'all just got caught, and no, y'all trying to fix it. Bye.
Wow.
Yep. And another Twitter user said, Zendaya's fans aren't mistaking the meaning. We understand the subtext of the term.
Absolutely.
We are not upset that she won the Emmy Award because we saw her performance. You are using the word to mean that she was the underdog. We always viewed our queen as the front runner in the race, which is beautifully said. Mm-hmm.
Because Zendaya is a queen.
Yes. And then another Twitter user decided to look up the word upset, right? And then that Twitter user said, words can mean more than one thing, though. She surprised everyone and deserved it. And that's all. But let's give a little bit of a highlight on that speech, though. That speech was really beautiful. You can see she was surprised, emotional, like the other nominees in the categories were applauding. You know what I mean? Supporting. And that's a beautiful thing. And then you see everybody in the background crying. I was just so like, nice. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, she gave like a beautiful like speech, and it was really nice. Moving on to the next Cheeseman, we do have a Woojin update.
Okay, what's going on with them?
Yeah, so just a reminder for a lot of people. So back in September 7th of this year, rumors were being spread that an idol sexually harassed one of the victims. She talked about how she went to the bar with her friend, and so this idol came up to her and was insisting to talk to them, and so they pretty much told him to go away. He put his hands on her and the friend. He kept saying, I'm a famous idol, but at the time these guys, or he wasn't in the group, right?
The group Stray Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was no longer
Here's
part
the
of it.
thing. When she was talking about what happened that incident, she didn't say his name nor Stray Kids. It was all the fans jumping in conclusion because she left a hint in there where she said W Big 3. And so everybody was saying, oh my god, that has to be Kim Woojin from Stray Kids. And right after that, the other girl came out and saying that, you know, she was at the bar alone and Idol came up to her and decided to talk to her. She didn't give him any attention, and it escalated to the point where she wanted to leave and he was like, don't. And so he kind of pushed her arm away or her arm away, and then she pretty much screamed, and that's when everything went down, according to what she said. Now, here's the thing why I like watching DK TV. So they normally inform me with a lot of Korean pop culture or like things that are happening in Korea.
Shout out to them.
And so Danny and David, they decided to go the extra mile and kind of, you know, investigate the story a little bit more. So the second girl, she was the one the girl with the whiskey. She was the one who deleted all the tweets and stuff like that. And she was the one who posted a picture of quote unquote evidence that they were both in that location. Like, this is the whiskey. Now, apparently what we didn't know is that this picture was actually from a different Instagram account. Like, this girl took a picture from a regular person's Instagram account, put it there, and a lot of the fans of, you know, Stray Kids fans and stuff went to the Instagram poster and was like, why do you have this picture here? Supposedly this is from the girl who is saying that, you know, Woojin pretty much harassed her and stuff like that. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? This is my picture. So it came out to reality is that this girl took the picture from his Instagram account. The posting happened in September 7th, but the incident happened in April of 29th, right? When supposedly, I think Korea was in lockdown anyway. So I don't know if anybody can let me know.
So is this person lying?
It's presumed to be that the second person is lying, because the first person we don't know, you know, nothing else has come of it. And of course, just to remind everybody, Woojin put out a statement, you know, denying all the allegation. And you remember how I told you
and that was under a fake representative.
But here's where this story again is just so crazy, because the thing is, remember how we discussed that 10X Entertainment was faked by Woojin? Yeah. So again, in the DK TV segment, they actually, and it's public record to anybody can look up on it. The company is actually real. It's registered. So yeah, but before it was speculated that it was faked, because the thing is, when the 10X Entertainment put out their own statement to represent Kim Woojin, it's because the lettering that they put out, it was from third person to first person, right? And that's what raised red flags for people. It's like, how do you jump from Kim Woojin this, Kim Woojin that, and then it turns to I? That was the mistake of the post, according to what's being put out there. Now, the post is in Korean, so I don't know 100% sure, because with these Korean translation, it's wrong. And don't trust Google. Google's like the worst place to translate Korean text. And then also, they posted, remember how I was telling you, they posted a picture of Woojin supposedly not being at the location, but the time difference was off, or something like that. You could still be at the scene of the crime and go home, you know. So it's a lot of that, and of course, you know, this section is my opinion. I will be linking down the segment of DK TV, because they go in depth with you know, the allegation story, the statement, and you know, they opinionate what happened. And also one of the guys has like lawyer friends, and they even ask questions about it. And so I think it was like really informative. Here's the thing. The possibility of who to believe is unknown right now, both of them. So, you know what I mean? You have a poster, one of the victims, that, you know, posted a picture that supposedly puts him there, but then she deletes all of her tweets. And then you have Woojin doing some fishy business behind the scene anyways. So it's like, what? You know what I mean? And you know what really sucks? Because if the first person who came out with the allegation is actually true, the second person literally negates what the first person says.
And it's doing this just for clout.
Yeah, and that's just, it's really upsetting for me because there are actual victims out here who want to tell their story, but then when you have people trying to fake certain scenarios, situations, it kind of just eliminates that, you know what I mean? And so now we're in the stance of who do we believe? And the thing is, if this turns out to be fake, I still think Woojin's career is up in the air because everybody already made their judgment, you know, whether this is true or not. Everybody's already made their judgment, so we'll see how everything goes.
Sure.
All right, so I guess that's all the chisme we have, and so moving on to
Damn, bruh. That's wild. This is our second segment when I find a story from around the world that's just so crazy. And this story is called Tacky Wedding RSVP slammed for offering guests better food if they give money. An RSVP card thought to be for a wedding, which asks guests how much money they're gifting, has gone viral on social media. So this story was actually posted today on mirror.co.uk.
Okay.
But
today as of recording.
Yeah, just a few hours ago when I actually was able to find the story. So this is actually fresh as we're recording this. And this is actually an old story being brought into the light now.
Really?
So this is, so there's this woman and her name is Kathy Mason. And she's in one of those like wedding groups where you wedding shame people or you put like funny stories, like you know how you got mommy shaming groups and such. Yeah. So she found an old invitation from 2013 and that's what went viral. She didn't really say her relation to this person, so I'm gonna assume this is maybe a friend. Okay. I like just the way I can only, it's implied that maybe this person was a friend. So they had made a basket for them, food and all that, you know.
Oh, so they made like a what do you call them? Like
one of those like fruit baskets with food.
Okay. Do you pass it out to like people or something? Oh,
but you know, it's a traditional wedding. You know, there are different, I guess, ways that they do weddings in different countries. But this person, they said that it was a tradition for them, particularly, to bring like, you know, basket of food, and they had like cool stuff like Rice Krispie treats in it, marshmallow fluff, just fun things for your wedding, and you think that would be cool. But the bridezilla of the wedding,
oh my god,
basically pulled her to the side allegedly and was just like, hey, I really appreciate the fact that you got me this basket, it's lovely, but I really would have preferred it if you had given me money. After all, you did not pay attention. Yes, you did not pay attention to, you know, the wedding invitation because there was a tier level on, you know, what you were supposed to be getting me for the wedding. She had a gift level. So she had a policy for her wedding that depending on how much you were spending for her personal gift for her and her partner that she is marrying, you will get your dinner based on how much you're spending.
Are you?
Yes. And
you got me messed up.
I know, and it's funny because I will actually post this on our Instagram for people who want to see it because I do have a funny, you know, little picture of it. So this is what she did right originally to the lady. She goes, "I want to thank you for coming to my wedding Friday."
Wait, hold on. This is on the invitation?
No, this is after.
Oh, after. Like, okay, sorry. My bad.
Yeah. She said, "I'm not sure if this is the first wedding you've ever been to, but for your next wedding, people give envelopes. I lost out on $200 covering you and your dinner's plate and got Fluffy Whipped and Sour Patch Kids in return. Yes. Just a heads up in the future." Yep.
Oh no! I'll be knocking on her door.
Fluffy Whip and Sour Patch Kids. She was basically making fun of her basket too, that she had made from the heart for her wedding for her and her husband.
ungrateful.
Yes. So people, in the comment section just so like, what did this in the, RSVP invitation? So this is 4 levels of gifts. So this is how it goes. So that we may prepare for your preferred dinner, please circle the gift level and indicate a meal choice for each person in your party. We've got level 1 called Loving Gift, which is up to $250. If you're gonna spend up to $250 on your wedding, you're gonna get roasted chicken or swordfish as your dinner for her wedding.
Are you serious?
Yes, but don't worry. If you don't like that and you want to show out, they have the silver gift level. That's level 2, where if you're spending between $251 to $500, you can get the choice of getting the previous roasted chicken and swordfish, or at this level, sliced steak and poached salmon. But it's okay, girl. If you want to ball even more, they've got the golden gift package, where if you're gonna spend between $501 to $1,000 for whatever wedding gift of your choice, you can even give her money. She'd rather prefer money. You get the previous choices of food, but at this level, you get filet mignon and lobster tails. You have the choice.
What?
Oh, but don't worry, girl.
There's more?
Yes, there's more. If you really, really want to ball out and show your dick at this wedding, like, you want to pull an Oprah, this is the Platinum Gift Edition, where if you're spending between $1,000 and $2,500 and up on a wedding, people who want to ball out, Yasmin gonna spend that much money for her wedding, which is the highest level for this. You have a choice of getting a 2-pound lobster plus a souvenir champagne goblet. Like when you're normally at a wedding and you have the little favors where they'll be like, maybe John and Kate with the names, the little cups and stuff they give. They're gonna throw that in there along with your 2-pound lobster dinner.
Are you serious?
Yes. Isn't that amazing? And then, of course, there are some people that are thinking to themselves, this is so disrespectful. What if I'm vegan or vegetarian and all that? Girl, she thought of you too. Vegetarian and kosher, so she got you too. And happy Rosh Hashanah. I hope I pronounced that correctly, because that is going on right now. So for the kosher meals, they are available at this level. So if none of that food works, they will make it work for you. You already paid for it. Yep.
Yo, this girl is wild.
Oh, and by the way, the little souvenir champagne goblet, it's only available at the platinum status. You cannot get the cup unless you're spending between $1,001 and up. So I'm sorry. So please, when you fill this out, fill out the request and send it to, her before the preferred date. Now, because she did not do this and decided to bring her own basket of treats and stuff like that,
so she did
sent the letter.
Opposite of.
Yeah, she sent
and that's
the letter.
The ungrateful friend, right?
Yeah, I was talking about, I lucked out on $200 because you brought me a basket of candy when I clearly sent you a list and told you what to get. And look at you now being cheap, but it is what it is. That's basically what she implied in that letter.
Of course.
So here's the question, people. Listeners, would you spend that much on your friend or relative's, wedding? I personally would tell them to kiss my ass. So, it's on you.
I'll be like, I won't show up.
I'll send you a gift card. You get what you get.
Yo, people wildin'. What the hell?
Yep, they wildin' for real. That's wild. I'll be like, you tripping for real.
Oh, man.
And so you knocked your head a few times. Like,
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that wild story. Food for thought in the Cheeseburger Corner.
And we at Let's Geek Pod want to say rest in peace to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who is an American gem in itself. She was the second Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. She's the second woman to get that amazing honor. She passed away on September 18, 2020 from complications due to pancreatic cancer. She would definitely be missed because she is a big activist in women's rights and women's equality, and she just did that. We just want to give her props and say, rest in peace. You are a gem. And we will continue to do your mission as people by going out to vote. So please go and vote. It is very important that you
I'm already registered. Are you?
Yes, I am registered to vote.
We're registered.
And I am registering actually today so I can get my mail-in ballot. It is not too late. If you cannot get your mail-in ballot, if you're in the United States, you can just go to your local, registering place and do it. So please go out and vote. And for this music guest this week, I am excited to say that it is Kiana night. Yay! And this is her song, Drinks. My friend's sister, I'm so proud of you that we playing your music on this podcast. So we gonna do exactly what the song says. Pop bottles, drinks, hey!
Let's get lit.
Let's just find some drinks. Kick back and release. Let's just find some drinks. Kick back and release. Yeah. Drop top riding. Just vibing. Beautiful day. Hey. Fresh off work. About to get clean. You know I got to be fly. Just pulled up to the move on snap. Don't worry, cuz the jungle juice smack. I'm just feeling good and free. Why don't you kick it with me? Let's just find some drinks. Kick back and release. Let's just find some drinks. Kick back and release. Oh, let's just find some drinks. Kick back and release. Why don't you come with me?
Pulled up to the party, it's a vibe. Everybody feeling good and got the bottles for the night. Ain't nobody on the snap cause everyone enjoying life. Better call you up an Uber if you looking for a ride or a lift. Can't leave the party, it's lit. If somebody take my spot, you know I'm finna be pissed. I done took a lot of shots so I can hop in the whip. Don't need another mood tonight cause this is live as it gets. Say yo, I got a request. Say DJ, I need something groovy, baby. All the vibes are here, let's turn this to a movie. Crazy, hella drinks, a couple freaks in a jacuzzi. Naked, Deuce, Henny, Ginger, Seki, or the goose, you name it. Work was acting so I need me a taste. Whoever back up in the kitchen, hand me cleaning my plate. Don't need me a chase, and if you got a gun on your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Why? Cause the music bump, the drinks is on the rise. Got the jungle juice, we mix with piece of rock. Got a noise complaint, the neighbors called the cops. We don't give a fuck, somebody pour some shots, ayy. Cause everybody in this bitch getting tipsy. Dance all night, hands moving where your hips be. Pants on tight so you move a little risky. I'm trying to keep it going, part 2 if you with me for real.
Let's just find some drinks. Kick back and release. Let's just find some drinks. Kick back and release.